foster care, and as well as domestic violence in a relationship. And just trying to push forward and still being successful as an entrepreneur. So, I was able to go to college. I put myself through college and just pushed through, every adversity that came my way. I tried to make sure that I was still positive and made the right decisions along the way. So I give survival tips in the book, different things that work for me as an entrepreneur, different things that work for me as a mom, things that work for me as a single mom, and as an entrepreneur as well.
So did you know then from early on, because you entered foster care when you were 6 years old, at what age did you figure, you know what, I'm going to make it in this life. I'm not going to be a statistic. I'm going to really, really shine and persevere. At what age did you have that strength and knowledge?
I would definitely say in high school, I began to work. At 14, I started a job at McDonald's, and I just continued to push from that job to, a grocery store job, and then I began to be, in corporate America after college. But I would definitely say in high school, I began to realize, okay, I need to do something else. I have to, set the tone for my siblings. I have to really make sure that, I am being smart and using my time wisely. And so I was working 3 jobs in high school. So I would definitely say high school was really the starting in the moment where I was like, okay, I have to do something and I have to push forward.
Yeah, such an amazing journey. And I know that you have great advice for those in the foster care system, because I know it can be a very bumpy road, not always, but often it is a bumpy road. So what advice do you have for those in the system?
I would definitely say push forward, use every stepping stone that you have to push forward. And no matter what anyone says to you, no matter how many no's you receive, to push forward. Sometimes we have to take a million no's to get one yes. And I think that's the most important part. No matter how many no's you get, and no matter how many doors are slammed in your face, that you continue to push forward and know that you can make it, and that someone has been through something as similar as you, and you can still do it.
Yeah, that is so amazing. And what about the reaction from your friends and family upon reading the book? Because I know there are a lot of revelations in there. Maybe some of them didn't know about.
Yes.
How have you tackled that?
It's been challenging. I have had multiple conversations with some of my family, and some of them, majority have not read the book. Some things they knew and some things they didn't know. So I think the main thing was therapy. Therapy has been amazing for me just to process this, because this was a very challenging task. Doing the book, writing the book, it's taken 10 years to really get my pain on paper. And I had to really just push through that. So therapy has been definitely like my guiding light, as well as just knowing, these are things that happen, and it's time for me to tell my truth, and it's time for me to be able to help others know that you can go through these traumatic events, but you still can come out on the other side.
Yeah, and I think it would make an amazing film. Has anyone reached out to you about that?
Yes, I have talked to one producer, but nothing's done yet. Nothing's, we haven't, really done anything. It's just been talk. But I'm excited. I'm open to it for sure. And it's so much. The book is just a tip of the iceberg.
Wow. And I know that faith plays a big part in your life, and
yes.
And so grateful for that. Where can we find your book, Ruth?
Yes, ma'am. www.aruthproctor.com, and it's on Amazon as well when you search my name.
Fantastic. Well, continue on this wonderful, positive journey. You're inspiring so many. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, just wanted to kind of give you a little rundown of my story and how I kind of came to this space, how I started speaking. My name is Ruth Proctor, as they talked about in the video, and I am an author, I'm a philanthropist, I'm a mom, I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I love helping others and giving back. I was a foster kid, as we talked about on the show, and at 6 years old, I was placed in foster care, and I was placed in 3 different homes, me and my younger brother, and from that point, we were in 3 homes, and then I was placed with my cousin after the third foster care, and she adopted us. At the age of 11, I was adopted by her, which is my mom's cousin. So we were able to stay in the family. I don't know what this thing. Okay, here we go. And from that point, So from that point, we were placed with my cousin in 11. She adopted me and my brother. And at the age of 14, my mom got pregnant again, and I had another sibling, and I begged my adopted mom to take her in, and I raised her until I went to college at 18. So, from 18 and up, I moved out of the house at 18. I was ready to get out of my cousin's house. I was, tired of really being told what to do and still being asked to pay rent, being asked to, do all these things, and you're not really acting as a mom to me. You're really more so like an overseer. So I was really raising myself in a lot of aspects and had seen a lot, been through a lot before I was 18 years old. So by the time I turned 18, I was like, I'm out of here. Getting up out of here, I'm going to college, and I'm going to make something of myself. And so I went to North Carolina Central University in Durham, and I commuted my first semester because I didn't have any money. I had to get student loans. I had to go through all of that. And my adopted parents weren't really trying to help me, and they didn't help me at all. So I had to go through that whole process, FAFSA, LSATs, ACT, all of that by myself. And once my first semester in Central, I got an apartment with a girlfriend, and I moved to Raleigh, and I commuted from that point. And then after college, I started at Blue Cross and Blue Shield, where I worked in corporate. And then from that point, I started in the mental health field, I would say simultaneously around the same time finishing college. And then I realized that my niche and my passion was working with kids in the mental health field because I was a kid in the mental health field. My mom was diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar at the age of 6, so I had been a mother to my mother since I was 5. And so it made sense for me to be in the mental health field, even though that's not what I went to college for. I was going to college to go to law school. And I started a 2-year internship at the Center for Litigation in Durham, North Carolina, where they deal with inmates that are on death row. And I realized real quickly that I did not want to be a lawyer, and that was not my path, and I didn't feel comfortable, speaking and telling, in a sense, telling in my mind I was going to be lying for someone that I didn't feel comfortable lying for. And so from that point, I was like, okay, we're going to see what the MPA program is, which is Masters of Public Administration. So I went to grad school after I finished undergrad at Central, and I pledged Delta Sigma Theta, best sorority in the land, at Central as well. And from that point, I just continued to expound in the mental health field. 2008, I opened up my own nonprofit. 2009, I opened up my first mental health facility in Raleigh, and I just kept expounding. And I opened up mental health agencies throughout the East Coast since 2008, 2009. And I just love giving back, love helping others. I do a lot for the foster care units and the surrounding areas as I came from a foster care unit. And I just love just helping people. And in 2020, I started my book. I did my book, and I finally told the world some of my story about surviving molestation by my stepfather, being molested in foster care, but not let that be in my win-all be-all, being in a domestic violence relationship right out of high school, and just saying these things happen to me, but it doesn't define me as a person. It doesn't define me as a mom. It doesn't define me to be a great entrepreneur and be a good steward of what God has given me. And so from that point, that's when I started telling my story and started talking and encouraging self-care. So before I answer any questions about the book or anything of that sort, I want to ask you guys, what do you do for self-care? What is something that you pour back into yourself every day to make sure that you're okay? We talk to our friends, we talk to our parents and our family, but what do you do for yourself? And it doesn't have to be, I got my nails done, I got my hair done. Truly, do you take time to meditate? Do you take time to read? Do you take time to just pour back into yourself? Positive affirmations. I am amazing. I am beautiful. I am successful. What do you do to pour back into yourself when it comes to self-care? Because you guys are in high school, you are at a pivotal moment in your life, and it's so important that you pour back into yourself at this time. Because if you don't learn to love yourself now, you become to be an adult, and you in relationships, and you thinking that this person has to show you all these different things, and truly you have to look inward, not outward. So can someone in the room just tell me, what do you do for self-care, and how do you pour back into yourself? Or do you pour back into yourself?
I always burn sage. That's like my way of meditating. Calms me. Calms like my area. Just gets me in the right headspace to do whatever I need to do.
I love it. Do you do that daily, weekly?
Weekly.
Oh, okay. Anybody else?
I like to either turn on gospel music or read my Bible.
Yes.
I feel like it kind of helps me calm down and kind of understand just whatever's going on
Yep.
in that moment.
Silence is so important. I think we think that the world has to be loud and you gotta have things on all the time, but truly silence is inward. It's so important to take that time to be silent.
I go on walks. Oh, you?
Oh, I love it. I walk too.
I go on walks.
I I love it.
Surrounding yourself with nature, just knowing something out there is bigger than yourself. I think that's good to have.
Definitely. Love it.
I like to exercise, and it just helps me relieve stress, and it's like a time for myself.
Anybody else? Okay. Any questions for me regarding like the mental health field? Any questions regarding like the book? Any questions that I can answer? I know you guys are like in that space of what do I go to college? Do I take up a trade? You know, what do I do? Do you guys all know what you want to do after high school? Good. Well, I appreciate you guys for allowing me to present to you guys today, and I'm here if you need anything. I'll be here after. And I also wanted to pass out some of my cards. That way, you guys, if you want to get additional information, you guys can find me on all social media platforms. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I deleted my Twitter account when they started all the drama, but I do Women Supporting Women Wednesdays every Wednesday, where I have a female entrepreneur that comes on, talk about their story, where they survive, how they practice self-care, no problem, and just doing different things to pour back into others. I've been on a couple different shows. I've been on NBC, ABC. Okay, I'm gonna have to get some more. I'm gonna give you some more after, so that way you can pass them out to the rest. And you can take a picture of it, and you can take a picture of this too. I'm on all social media platforms as Avery Proctor, so if you didn't get a card, you can also find me on there. But like I said, feel free to ask any questions that you guys may have. I'll be here for like another 10 minutes. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
See, I was under 15 minutes.
I need to talk to Mr. Perry. About
Are
this.
y'all always this quiet?
Because he said, you know him, so do I just buy beer? Oh, wait, we're actually starting.